Hello.
Hello. Who am I speaking with?
This is Michael.
Hello, Michael. Would you mind if I ask some questions today?
Yes, you may.
Okay. Today, I am feeling different than the times before when we've done this. I feel stronger. I feel positive energy. Even though there may be negative, I feel positive energy. And my mind is full of light. There's a lot of light. Why is it so different this time?
It's because you are feeling your new light power is beginning to emerge.
Yes, it really...
You are starting to feel different things. You're starting to see more things.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Some things before they happen.
Uh-huh. Wow. Yes, that's true.
That is good. You are becoming more clairvoyant.
I noticed that in the sessions that I was seeing.
That is good because the more you feel that way, the more light and the more good fortune will come your way.
Yes, I've been feeling that as well. A positive feeling.
And it is also getting easier for you.
Uh-huh.
That helps with the energy around you.
Yeah.
Even when something negative tries, you just keep pushing through it, and more good things will happen.
Yes.
It is easy to do that. When you feel negative energy around, it is easy to look around the negative energy and to try to find some kind of positive to come out of it, which most of the time it does.
Mm-hmm.
There's always around light energy. There's always to get around.
Yeah.
There's always ways to get around negative energy.
Yeah.
Even when it tries to come at you, you can always try to find one little thing good in it, and that one little thing will turn it into a big good thing.
Mm-hmm. Why does that happen, like, in that way?
That's because that's the way it's supposed to happen. Negative energy does not control everything.
Uh-huh.
There's always a positive on the other side of a negative. When something negative happens, you just find something positive to get around it, and there's always a way to get around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's always a way to get around negative energies. Which you are seeing is happening now.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it takes longer to get a positive, but there's always a positive there.
Uh-huh. Let's see. This past week I got sick, and I think I understand what it was. I think it was from the food I was eating.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was your salt intake.
Yes, and it did not take much to shift that.
Yes. too much salt intake will affect the body. The human body needs a little salt, but when you eat too much of it, it affects the body. The salt is a crystal. The salt, too much salt is a negative.
Right.
The negative can affect the body when there's too much salt. They can change your body. And when the negative gets into your body, when it has too much salt, it can put negative feelings into you and make you do things that you usually do not do, have negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Same as sugar as well. Too much sugar will have the same effect. Because they are crystals. And when the crystals melt into your body, it becomes easier for the negative to get into you because it's in your blood. And they don't have to try as hard to cause negative feelings and you to do negative things towards other people or have negative thoughts. But it's easy to get rid of it when you drink a lot of water for a few days.
Yeah.
Get all of the salt out of your body. And then, if you want a little salt, you can have a little. But when you have too much salt, it is not good for the human body.
You've told us this before. And I don't even know that we shared that information, but you've been telling us this since the first time Travis had a regression years ago about the crystals.
Yes.
What is it about the crystal formation of those? Is there anything that we could understand?
The salt crystals can be used for good as well, but not in the human body. The human body needs some salt, unfortunately, but not a lot.
Yeah.
But if you had like a big, giant salt crystal, it can be used for good as well. It's just when it gets inside the body when it's not good.
Okay. How do you use that for good? I know we have a salt lamp.
The same as other crystals. Any crystal on your planet is really a good crystal.
Okay.
There are no negative crystals. But the salt is not a good crystal when you have too much in your body, same as the sugar.
Yeah.
The sugar cane comes from a plant, but you can turn it into a crystal.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
The pearl is actually another magical.
Oh, yes.
It is also a crystal.
Really?
Most people don't think it is, but it is.
I did not know that.
Yes, it's not as powerful as other crystals, but it can still be used as good.
Wow.
They are full of love.
In a client session I saw, they were not pearls exactly, but it was opalescent butterflies.
Yes.
Yes. So beautiful.
Yes.
So people can use pearls? How would they do that? It's the same as another crystal. To hold energy.
It's full of energy. You can put your energy into the pearls.
I see.
I think that's why a lot of people use them as their jewelry.
Oh.
When you put a lot of them together, they have a lot of love in them because they come from what your animal calls a clam.
That's right.
The clams make them and they're full of love.
Oh, I bet they are. I hear there is a lot of light in the ocean. I think you've told us that.
Yes, the oceans are full of power.
Yeah.
Because they're full of salt crystals.
Wow.
In the water. So they hold a lot of power, which is why a lot of beings like to hide in the ocean, because it gives their crafts power.
It gives their what power?
It gives their crafts power.
Their crafts? Oh, their crafts. Oh, sorry. I was thinking of a different kind of craft. I understand. Yes, it seems crystals are very powerful.
Yes, some of the other beings uses the salt water, and they turn the salt water and make crystals out of the salt water, and they can use those crystals to power their crafts.
Amazing. Amazing.
They can transform the water into a crystal.
Wow. That's so interesting. I was laying here yesterday, and I saw in my mind Coconut float out of his body and go down the hall to follow Travis in the other room. Is that what they do sometimes? Well, his eyes were closed though, and he was laying next to me, sleeping.
Yes. The animals can astral travel very easily.
Yeah.
When they don't feel like moving their natural bodies, if they want to follow you, they will just astral travel and follow you.
Yeah, I was amazed. I felt Travis get up and go into the kitchen, and then I saw Coconut in my mind float out of his body and go in to check on him.
Yes, they do that all the time.
It makes sense because he was sleeping. So.
And it is the same when they pass away.
Oh, yes.
They follow you as well until they decide they want to go into another pet, into another physical body.
Yes, I've been thinking about that pet channeling we did. That was so beautiful. So the pets can stay, right? They can stay on the earth with their person?
Yes, they can choose to stay as a pet if they want. Sometimes they do not come back as a pet. They will come back as another person.
Oh, wow. It just gets more interesting.
Yes, they can decide if they want to come back as another pet.
Okay.
Which most of the time they do, because they usually get more love as a pet than they do as a human.
Yeah.
Mainly because most people can recognize their pet in another pet. But they would not recognize their pet that they used to have in another human.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Usually the only way to figure that out is if they go under an ascension and they realize that they were that pet.
Yeah.
Pets are very special.
Yes.
All animals are special.
They are. They're so special. Let's see. I was going to ask you this week about the Egyptian, because of a regression, a past life that I had as a lion being in Egypt. I was going to ask you about those beings. Why do we talk to those beings? Or I don't know if it's truly worshiping them, but it seems like sometimes people get strength from, say, talking to Isis or talking to a certain deity, I guess you would call them. And is it a positive thing? Can it be?
Yes, it is positive.
Okay.
The Lyrian beings coexisted with the Egyptians at one point. In Egypt, the Lyrians gave them a lot of their power. They gave a lot of the human Egyptians power.
Okay. So did they come from their planet to
Yes.
here? Okay.
The original Egyptians came from the Sirius area, and they don't look like the Egyptians that you see now. They were a darker being.
I was very dark in that regression, I noticed.
Yes, they
Very
came from
dark.
another planet, and the Sirians
Yes.
followed them. And over time, everything changed. When the Sirians left, the darker beings still had a lot of their power.
Uh-huh.
And over the thousands and thousands of years, the original Egyptians left Earth, but they left their counterparts in Egypt.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And slowly, their power dissipated, being mixed with other beings, till they were left with no power at all.
Oh.
Then later, the darker beings got taken over from other earthly beings that took on their persona.
Oh, I see.
They changed the darker beings into slaves, and they took over. They were called Persians, I believe.
Uh-huh.
The Persians took over the darker beings. Then most of the darker beings escaped further into their continent you call Africa, and had their own different tribes. And the Persians took over the Egyptian language and persona because they liked it so much.
Wow, this is so fascinating.
Which is why the Egyptians look like they do now.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Which confuses a lot of people on your planet now because history has construed a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the Africans forgot that they were the true Egyptians. A lot of people on your planet, because history is so construed, that they always forget that Egypt is in Africa because the Egyptians are not dark-skinned like the rest of the Africans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I remember. That was amazing, that life. That was so powerful. So powerful. So that's knowledge that I had from, I guess, being from a different place then?
Yes.
Okay.
The pyramids that were built were used for energy. On the top of the pyramids, they had crystals.
Mm-hmm.
The Sirians actually came back to planet Earth and took those crystals off the top of the pyramids.
Okay, yeah.
After the Persians invaded, they came and took them. The Persians didn't see them take the crystals. They never knew what happened to the crystals. Just one day they were there, and one day they were off the top of the pyramids.
Wow.
So they could no longer use those pyramids for energy.
Is that what they use them for? Energy?
Yes, they use them for energy, which also you call electricity now, which is basically what you call now, they had free energy.
Yeah.
They did not have what you call wires. The energy just went through the ground, and they could stick poles into the ground with crystals at the top, and the crystals glowed.
Wow.
That's how they got their light.
Amazing.
Just by sticking the poles into the ground. There was another being on your planet not too long ago, maybe 100 years ago, maybe 80 years ago.
Yes.
You call him Tesla.
Yes.
He also figured out a way to do that. But they would not let him do that because they wanted to use the energy to make money. They did not want anyone to have free energy.
Yes.
You would have free energy now if Tesla could have got away with using that energy. But the powers that be on your planet did not want that. They want to have that power and have everyone pay for energy so they can have more money.
Yeah. Gosh, gosh, that's so fascinating. I remember also that we did healing there,
Yes.
and I think it had to do with crystals.
Yes.
Okay. Did they have crystal beds?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I saw. Yeah.
A lot of those have not been found yet because they're deep into the ground.
Oh, I see. Okay.
They look like coffins with tons of crystals in them. You lay in the crystals,
Yeah.
and the crystals would heal you.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. And I think I was in a building or the pyramid laying on a crystal bed.
It was also for them to astral travel and meditate.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And plants. I saw that we used certain plants too to learn. The plants I said had secrets. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. Mysteries.
Yes. A lot of the trees on your planet have mysteries.
Yeah.
Which is why it's not a good thing to be cutting them down, even though you can regrow them. A lot of trees have healing powers as well.
Yes, I've been reading a book by a channeler, Daryl Inca, who channels Bashar, and they talk about how the tree and everything really in the forest is aware and awake.
Yes, everything is aware and awake. Mm-hmm. Everything has a life.
Mm-hmm. The trees would remember everything, of course, because they have consciousness. Yes.
Even when the trees are cut down, they do not die. That's why every home has an energy, because it has the tree's energy in the wood.
Oh, wow.
So every dwelling has an energy because of the tree's energy in the wood.
That's amazing. Amazing.
So every domain can be a positive area.
That makes sense. I'm trying to think what other things. I guess the rocks, I imagine, hold energy too.
Yes. Everything on the planet, the whole planet, is a living being.
Right.
Most people don't see the planet Earth as a living being, but the planet being Earth is a living being. Every planet in the universe is a living being.
Mm-hmm.
Every planet speaks.
Every planet speaks.
Every planet has its own language.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting. So each planet has its own?
Yes. Which is why your planet, even though the beings on your planet created the things you call nuclear weapons, even though they exploded a few of them years ago, those were more like a warning. The beings could have let those bombs not explode, but they wanted the people on your planet to see what they look like when they exploded. But they would not let any more be exploded.
Yeah.
So worrying about a so-called nuclear war is not warranted, because the beings that live in your planet and fly around your planet and visit your planet would not let them explode. They will shut them off.
Have they done that already?
Yes, they have, and it does not want anyone to know about it because that is their power.
Wow.
They like to keep people in fear of nuclear war. They use that as a power struggle. But they know they will never be able to shoot them off because the aliens that you call will not let them go off. They will shut them down.
So people don't have to worry about that then?
Yes, that will never happen.
Okay, that's good.
And the powers that be do not want people to know that, because if everyone knew that, they know they could not scare anyone or other countries. Other countries like to use that as a yardstick to scare another country. But they know they will never be able to shoot them off because they know that the other beings will just shut them down.
Is it not interference because it would affect the other planets too? Or
Yes.
okay.
That is the only thing that they can interfere with. Anything that can destroy the planet, they can interfere.
Yeah.
But people's decisions, they cannot interfere
Right.
because they know those decisions won't destroy the planet. Anything that would destroy the planet, they can interfere.
Okay.
Anything else, they cannot.
Okay. I know you've told me worrying doesn't do any good. I know you say it's okay to prepare.
It is a human emotion to worry, but it is also a human emotion to figure your ways out of things. You always worry, but you always figure your way out of it.
Yeah.
That is a human emotion, and that's the way humans live. They always figure out a way to find good things out of bad things.
Yeah.
But they're always going to worry.
Yeah. I guess we have our higher selves, though. You know, I've been talking to my higher self a lot more.
Yes, the higher selves usually push you. They can't give you direction, but they can push you, as in giving you positive energy so you can think to get out of negative situations.
Right.
They can't give you all the answers, though, because
Yeah.
that is interfering. They cannot do that, but
Right.
they can.
Right.
If you ask them a question, how to do something, they can't tell you how to do it.
Right.
If a higher self tells you to do something, that is not your higher self. That is just your ego speaking.
Oh, I see. That's good to
Higher
know.
self and ego are totally different. Your ego is just you. You in the human body.
Yeah.
That is your ego.
Okay.
Egos usually tell you to do something totally different. Like if there was something you were wanting to do, and you wasn't sure if it was positive or not, you probably shouldn't do it. You shouldn't take a risk.
Okay.
Sometimes it goes good, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
If you know something is going to go good, then it's easier. But if you have to choose and you're not sure, and you choose it anyway just to see what happens, that's usually the ego.
Okay.
Sometimes you get lucky and it's good, sometimes you don't.
Yeah. I've heard something in one of our client sessions that was mentioned by a higher self who said the way. What is the way? I was curious about that.
The way is the same thing as good. If someone says, that is the way, sometimes that is not good because it is something that is taught. So you have to gauge it at some point. So usually the way is not always good. You just have to think about it. If someone's trying to tell you something and it doesn't sound right to you, and they say, that's just because that's the way, that does not sound good.
No.
Because if you don't think it's the way, then it's not.
Right.
If there is a law you have to follow, and you know if you don't follow that law, and it will kill you, like running a red light. You are not going to run that red light because you know that is the way. And you know that way is trying to keep you safe. So you would not run that red light. But if someone says that is the way, and it seems like you can go another way and you'll still be okay, then that is not the way. As far as your religions, a lot of people are now starting to figure out your religions has a lot of holes in it.
Yeah.
And they say that is the way. But a lot of people don't go that way and they are still fine. In that case,
yes.
That is not the way.
Yes, that makes sense. I think this higher self was telling the client that they couldn't tell them everything because that was not the way. That was not the way that it all works. That we are here to make our own decisions.
Yes, that is true. That is the way, because we cannot tell you anything.
Yeah. So, and then I've been confused about this a little bit. So, when you've told me, say, some things about my future, say bigger things, is that because it's in my life plan?
Yes.
Okay. So
it doesn't matter how you get there.
Right.
It is just in your life plan.
Okay.
And you just have to go with the flow.
So those things we can find out about.
Yes, if they said something is your life plan, you can't ask specifics about it because we cannot tell you.
Right.
You have to find that out for yourself.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would probably be not worth being here, right?
Right.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, I was going to ask you, how do you heal your chakras?
You can heal your chakras. You have to really fight and believe in it. If you have a throat chakra, a lot of people have defective throat chakras. That means they are afraid to speak up.
Yeah.
Some people are quiet, but they want to say things, but they're too afraid to speak up. That means their throat chakra is blocked.
I see.
And the only way to get through that is to speak up. And sometimes try to do speeches, even if it's a short speech in front of people. Then you will be able to speak to anyone.
Oh, yes.
You will not let anyone try to run over you or anything. Some people are quiet talkers. They speak really low because they're afraid to speak loud because they're afraid if they might say the wrong thing. Some people have defective heart chakras. Those are the ones that usually try to act tough all the time or act like nobody can hurt their feelings. And they're usually always angry. They hardly show anyone any love because their heart's been beaten down so much in their life. They're just protecting themselves.
Yeah. But they could heal that.
The way to heal that is to be around good people all the time. They have to be around people that are not so negative.
Yeah.
And eventually their heart will lighten up and they will talk to them about things and their heart will clear and they will have a clear heart and they won't be so angry all the time. They won't be so non-trusting of people and they will be able to express their feelings more.
Okay. That's beautiful.
Yes.
So what about your, say, like your solar plexus or even your root chakra?
Those will be healed through meditating and also being around like-minded people that are good people. You can't be around too much activity where you can't think. There are a lot of cities on your planet that are so busy it turns people cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to name the cities, but some people could probably take a guess of what those cities are.
Oh, yes.
People are always angry in cities. That's why people like to live out in the country, because it's quiet and they can think.
Right.
And it makes them more neutral-minded and just clear, and they can meditate, and they'll always be good. Some people don't like living in the country because it makes them depressed. Some of those people are the ones that can handle big cities better.
Yeah.
Because they know how to communicate with people.
Yeah.
They can help people in cities, which that is also a very good thing, because if they can deal with that but not be a cold person, that is a very big gift.
Yes, I would say so.
That is a very big gift, that you can live in a big city and you can talk to people and it does not turn you to a cold person.
Yeah.
That is a very, very big gift.
Yes, that sounds like a huge gift. An amazing gift.
Yes.
Someone had a question in a group about color, wearing colors, and how, if they would affect their ability to hold the light. Now, I thought that probably not, but then I did wonder if color has an effect on anything. I mean, it is an energy. There's some reason we see different colors.
Every color has an energy. No color has a negative energy. Even black color is not a negative energy.
Okay. Yeah.
There are no negative colors.
Are there meanings to colors, though? I guess that's what I was wondering. Any special meanings or not really?
Most of the colors all have the same energy, because that's why we have rainbows.
Yes. Yes.
Every color has a love in it. They don't have different meanings.
Oh, okay.
They all represent love.
Yeah.
Some people say they see auras with different colors. And they try to say those different color auras have different meanings.
Oh. No? Is that not true?
That one is somewhat true.
Somewhat true.
Because I don't know why it's different from the rainbow. I think the rainbow is what the source is telling me. The rainbow is an aura on its own.
Okay.
The people on your planet give those different colors around their bodies a feeling. So I guess that is true. So if someone has the color purple around them, purple has a lot of love in it.
Yeah. I love that color.
Blue has the trust aura around it.
Yeah, like a peaceful sort of feeling. And then pink is gentle.
Pink is gentle, exactly. And red.
Red is strong.
Red is a strong, passionate one.
Yes. Yeah.
Green is an aura of patience.
Oh.
Yellow is happiness.
Yes, that makes sense.
So yes. In the human body, those colors do have meaning.
But as far as what we wear, that would...
Physical, no.
Yeah.
Different color clothing, no.
Yeah.
Anything that deals with light does.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Gosh, I'm not sure if there's anything else. I just feel so different today. I feel
There is a lot.
super happy.
There is a lot of positive energy starting to flow on your planet.
Oh, that, yes.
It's only because, yes, everyone feels displeasure right now, but they're also turning it into just love and trying to create friendship so everyone can work together to get through the negative, which is a very good thing. That's how everyone is getting through the problems right now.
So is that like transmuting the energy? Okay.
Yes, that's exactly what they are doing. They're transmuting.
Okay. Is that a true chemical sort of process? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It's chemical in your body. But you push it out and it goes everywhere. It goes everywhere. And it just gives everyone love, so it pushes it all out.
Wow.
Everyone is slowly starting to feel the love. Even though they are having problems, everyone is working together.
Yes.
To get through it.
Yes. Yeah, that's good, I think. Now, some people talk about astrology. Is astrology a real thing? I've never asked you that before.
They call it astrology on your planet, but there are secrets to the stars. So part of it is somewhat true.
Okay.
The planets do cause a different kind of energy.
Yeah.
So it is somewhat true. I know when they say that the planets line up,
Oh, yes.
that does have a certain kind of energy.
Okay.
It's a positive energy. Some things are false as far as the people acting crazy for a full moon and all that stuff. That's not true.
Oh, really?
But it does bring in a lot of different gravity waves on your planet, but
yeah,
it doesn't cause anyone to do anything bad or anything.
Oh, I wonder why that idea is out there.
It was one of the superstitions that were made up.
Oh, I see. Okay. And then ascension symptoms, are those a real thing? A lot of people will say that they're feeling unwell or pain or things.
Those are the few negative ways that just flies around and comes through every now and then. The negative energies are like waves. They just wave around, and sometimes you'll feel it come.
So that's more like
through you, and
negative.
You can push it out.
Yeah.
That's how negative energies flow. They're just waves that just flows around, wandering around, and they'll go through people sometimes, and they usually don't stay unless you let them stay.
So what are we feeling when we feel bad? I don't know, tiredness, or is it just negative energy floating around that we're feeling?
Oh, just negative thoughts come to your head sometimes. Because everyone on your planet has negative thoughts. They think negative thoughts sometimes, and they go too far with them instead of just trying to figure out ways to get out of the negative thought. They just let it take over and consume them.
Us being, when we our bodies are changing because we're growing and we're ascending, or going to, does that affect us in any way? Like holding more light, is that a painful thing? To me, it usually feels like a good thing, but sometimes people call that ascension symptoms, like maybe more energy coming in than we're used to holding. Does that make sense? Even positive energy, could that?
There are no effects. You can never have too much energy come through your body. If you have a lot of positive energy comes through, it's only because really that's the way you feel, and then you can suck in all of the positive energy. If you're feeling negative and you're just angry, like super angry, then you'll suck in more negative energy. But it's easy to push it out. Like, really, it doesn't like stay in you unless you just dwell on things. You can easily push it out. One thing can push it out. You could be really angry and someone give you some really good news, and all of a sudden the negative energy is gone.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it doesn't stay in you.
Yeah. But ascension symptoms, that's not really a thing?
No, that's not a thing.
Okay.
It's just another word that someone made up.
Yeah. I had wondered if maybe we were just feeling things like, I don't know, like maybe the things that come from our electrical devices, or, things like that, things in the food. Because I'm
sometimes that happens with, sometimes that happens if you eat something bad and it doesn't make you feel good, that'll cause negative energy.
And the food, well, obviously, because that made me very sick.
Yes, if anything makes you feel sick, it's going to give you negative energy, which is natural for humans, because you don't feel good. So of course it's going to be negative. You're not going to be positive. But it won't last long, though. Yeah,
I know. The food, since I've been eating non-processed food, I feel a lot different.
Yes, there are a lot of things in the processed food.
Yeah. So they put, is it things that we don't know about?
Yes, there's all kinds of things in the processed food. That's why when people grow their own food, they feel better, because there is nothing in it. It is grown from nature.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I am so grateful that I'm feeling this feeling. It's amazing.
Yes, everyone will be feeling it soon.
Yeah.
There are times like this on your planet all the time, and it comes in waves. We just want everyone to stay strong and stay with the positive. Stay around good people. Good people will help each other, and you will get through it. There's always times like this, and the powers that be cannot win all the time. They know they get people down most of the time, but it doesn't last very long.
I think the thing that you said about, even if you have to do something you don't particularly like just for a short time, that was helpful.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we can handle things if we, put it in a perspective where we just understand we don't have to do it forever, probably.
Yes.
We'll probably find something better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything is always better. Even when things feel really bad. Especially when people pass away in your family. Even people that know their family members is going to a harder, better place. It's always, you're human.
Right.
You're human, even though if they're not with you anymore, it's hard.
It is. It's
because
very hard.
Even when you know they're still around, you're so used to them being in the physical with you, it's easier. But when they're gone, it is really hard.
It is, yeah.
And of course, we know it doesn't last long. Eventually you get
Right.
over it and everything's okay. But
Yeah.
no one can ever get over a death. Like,
Oh, yeah.
no one, I don't care what they say, no one is strong enough when their family member dies.
Yeah.
You're never going to see nobody super happy. It's like,
Yeah.
they're in a better place. They'll say that, or they'll try to act like they're okay, but in secret, they'll probably cry really hard, which is a good thing because you got to let it out.
Oh, it is a good thing to cry, yes.
But even though they know they might come back as someone else or whatever, they still going to miss them in the physical. That's just human nature.
Yeah. Part of this experience, I suppose.
It's part of the experience.
Yeah. Okay.
I know everyone knows that, but we always like to remind everyone of that.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of people, it seems, that are passing right now. Is that because of the flash coming? Does that have anything to do with that, or is that just normal life?
It is getting closer, and some people are choosing. A lot of people are choosing to leave.
Yeah.
Right away, because they will still see the flash as well, even though they're not on this planet. Everyone will see it. Even the ones that are passed away will see it. But some people are choosing to be like, well, I just want to go now.
Yeah. It is a difficult time. I mean, I should say challenging, maybe a better word.
Some people have already gone through their test.
No, that's true.
Some people on your planet sign their deals to come down, only to live a certain amount of time, because they only had to learn a certain amount at that age, and
right.
So it was just time for them to go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, everyone is not going to live to be super old, because the ones that lived to be super old needed to learn a lot. Yes.
Will we become more spiritual before the flash happens?
Not everyone.
Not everyone.
Instead, there will be the ones that help people.
Okay.
For the flash.
It seems like many are awakening.
A lot of people are starting to awaken, and
starting.
some want to awaken, but they're still struggling because of their religions is holding them back. But even that, even knowing a little bit helps. Even if they don't get all the way through it, just getting a glimpse of it helps. It'll help them. When the flash comes, they will be a little more prepared. They're like, so it is true, and they may be able to help still.
And it's just because it will be such a big change for us, and because we'll be experiencing things that we've never seen.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other reason? I've wondered that sometimes.
That's the only reason.
Okay. So I guess if you begin seeing all these things that you've never seen before, it's helpful if you have some advanced warning, and maybe, I'm seeing things I've never seen before now, so
yes,
I guess that helps. Yeah. Okay.
There are a lot of people starting to get those gifts.
Yes, I think I've noticed that.
Everything will be fine.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right.